All right, so you made it this far. The NFL's top 50 players all time. My opinion, of course. If you've been following, we all the way down to number 1 and number 2 right now. And if you saw my last video, I told you it's quarterbacks. The last 2 are quarterbacks. And like I said about the top 5, any one of these players, if you had told me, you come to me and say, Jay Heat, I think that this guy is the best football player to ever put the pads on, I couldn't argue with you much. I might have a difference of opinion, but I would totally respect your opinion with any of these top 5. The previous 3 I've already gone over and where we are now. Now, to me, the quarterback is the most important position in football, and I think most people agree on that, which is a part of the reason why I got these guys at 1 and 2. But also, you can't tell the story of football or the story of these 2 gentlemen, in my opinion, if you don't tell the story about both of them. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Who's 1, who's 2 for me? It's debatable, depending on what we're talking about. I know there's a big consensus out there that would say Tom Brady is the GOAT. At this point, after winning his 7th championship, not to mention the fact that he won it on another team in Tampa Bay, because for years and years it was, well, is it more Belichick or is it more Brady? Well, Brady won 6 championships with Bill Belichick. So Belichick had something to do with it. We can't unsee the defensive stances Bill Belichick put up, the times where Tom didn't have to score that much, especially the first 3 championships. But even that one when they played the Rams, I think it might have been 2018, defense meant a lot in that Super Bowl. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time in most people's opinion, so you can't mention Tom and not Bill. But that being said, him going to Tampa Bay showed something. And we saw Tom carry Bill not only in the regular season, but in Super Bowls. Tom had a lot to do with that Atlanta Super Bowl, that comeback. Yeah, the defense got stops. A lot of it, Atlanta made mistakes, but Tom brought them back. The credentials speak for themselves with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Tom, I'd say I get why more people would lean to him as number 1. Out of respect for the 7 championships, I'm going to put him at number 1 on this list. But Tom, he's got not just the 7 Super Bowls, but he went there 10 times in 23 years. It's a hell of a feat to play for 23 years at the level he played, but then to make it to 10 Super Bowls is spectacular. Never been done by anybody. It's only like 3 guys, I think, that even been to 5 Super Bowls. Tom been to twice that many, and he has 7. He also is a 3-time league MVP. The list is very short for 3-time league MVPs. He's also a 6-time All-Pro. The list is short for that one too. One of his idols in Joe Montana, he's got more All-Pros, more Super Bowl wins, of course, appearances. He's a 5-time Super Bowl MVP. Not just, he's the league MVP 3 times, which to me is the more important MVP, but 5 times in the big game, he was the man. Tom Brady retired with the all-time most touchdowns in a career, all-time most yards thrown in a career. That had to do with longevity when you look at touchdowns per game and yards per game. He wasn't necessarily number 1 there, but because of the longevity, which is still a skill, his ability to stay in shape, to be on his nutrition, everything he was doing, being in the spotlight, Tom was as clutch as they come. He's the greatest leader in possibly American team sports outside of Bill Russell. This guy was everything for the New England Patriots, and going to a team in Tampa Bay that had a good squad there to begin with when he got there as far as skill position, defensive players on both sides. But Tom made them a playoff-looking roster to a championship. And I know some of y'all will say, well, they didn't even go to the playoffs that year, meaning Tampa Bay, the year before Tom got there. but it was because their quarterback threw the football to the wrong team like 30 times. So Tom got to a team that had playoff roster, and he made them a Super Bowl contender, and multiple years after that, for the next couple years, had them in the playoffs, had them in the mix. Tom is unprecedented. Peyton, who I haven't gotten on as much, he's unprecedented too. Before Tom won on 2 different teams, Peyton was the first to do it. He went to 4 different Super Bowls, only won 2 of them, which is the knock on his career, but he went to all 4 Super Bowls with 4 different coaches. Never been done. Peyton was the system. Tom Brady called him the most prolific quarterback in the history of the sport. Tom Brady looked up to Peyton in a lot of respects, was modeling his game after trying to be more like Peyton from the technical sense. Not talking about the winning sense, that was Tom, but the technical sense, the calling the plays, knowing what the defense is doing, the preparation, that was Peyton Manning. And because of it, he was a 10-time All-Pro. Unprecedented. That's almost double Brady. He's a 5-time league MVP, the most in history. There's nobody in the modern era of football that has 10 All-Pros, 5 MVPs. Crazy. And he's still a multiple-time Super Bowl winner on 2 different teams, went to 4 Super Bowls with 4 different coaches, and when he retired, he held the record for touchdowns for a career, yards for a career, and he did it at a quicker pace than Tom did. He just got hurt at the end of his career and couldn't go anymore. Peyton was a machine. Tom's the better leader. Tom's the better winner. And to me, Peyton is the more pure quarterback. Your quarterback's quarterback. If you look in the dictionary, just playing the sport, and we're not talking about winning, it's definitely Peyton Manning. But he just wasn't the best regular season quarterback because he is 3-2 against Tom Brady in the playoffs, even though he's 11-6 with Tom having the advantage all time. But Tom won more in the regular season. In the postseason, Peyton beat him 3 times to 2. So whatever you want to call it, 1-2, Peyton's my favorite quarterback probably of all time other than Patrick Mahomes now. And I have an immense respect for Brady because being a Peyton fan, I had to respect Brady the entire time because he was always there. They played 17 times, and they were always setting the standard for football history. And now they're in the history books on my video, top 2, the greatest quarterbacks, most important players in the sports history. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is, and you know who you looking for. J-Heat Sports Media. And I'm coming at y'all with that fire as always. Y'all know where to find me. YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Make sure you subscribe. Pass the videos on if you like them. Stay tuned for more.